Hi, Matthew here, and I wanted to share my SH-101 emulation that I made in Bitwig Studios, The Grid. So what the idea was behind this was to emulate the machine's functionality. So I limited my SH-101 to whatever was available in the original SH-101. That being said, the LFO is shared across the whole machine as it was shared across the whole machine originally. It has the same waveforms, including the sub-oscillator having the 2 octaves down, which is just a press of the button. It's actually, you can't hear it because it's so low that it's just not even moving fast enough. There you go, you can hear it. Or 3. So the VCF has the mod select button here. No modulation. Modulation on. It's receiving the modulation from the LFO here. And this is the rate for it. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun emulation. So the pulse width receives the LFO and the envelope, and you change how that's functioning by hitting this button here. You change whether it's using noise for the modulation by hitting the noise button. This overrides both random and the LFO waveforms. Turns on modulation. LFO to the EG. The sequencer resets to the beginning every time you stop it, which is cool. It also takes over. When the sequencer starts, it turns off the ability to enter any notes. However, pressing a note will transpose the sequencer. Kind of a glide mode. Fine tune. Modulation to the VCO. So I think I did a pretty decent job grabbing everything. I've kind of skipped over the bender because the bender is difficult to explain. So the SH-101 had a vertical movement you could do with the bender, and it was a spring bender. So you could push it left and it would spring back to the center, or push it right and it would spring back to the center. Kind of like your pitch mod. But that doesn't really exist on that many machines right now, and definitely not on most MIDI keyboards. It's kind of rare. But I put it in anyway, and I built it the way it was built, so you might not get as much functionality over it. You can just replace the bender module here with an attenuator rather than an attenuverter, and that should take care of it. Pressure, you can turn up this attenuator here, and it's the pressure depth. And that was emulating I guess that's what I was doing. That's the upward motion on the bender. That's what that was. So you'd push up and it would go. Sensitivity on the controller I'm using is really high, so it's hard to get subtle movements. If you want to use the bender, though, you turn up the depth here, so you can kind of like figure out how you want to use it. And that's just the mod section. Which was fun to work with, knowing that it was a puzzle. I had to put everything together correctly for it to function the way it did originally. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it sounds great. I've shared it with some people. They seem to enjoy it. It's been very positive feedback with it. It's currently what I call in beta 4. I've made a bunch of adjustments to it since I first, kind of decided it was finished, and then I went back and I was like, oh, I need to make the step sequencer reset to the beginning every time, and I want to have multiple options for the speed on the sequencer, and have everything just be a button, just a click away that you could tinker in here and relive the SH-101 days or your boutique days. But thank you for checking out the video, and the link to it, to the beta 4 of the SH-101 emulation, will be in the comments section. So if you like what you saw here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I will continue to churn out some interesting content if you think it's interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye.